Hi everyone, I'm Ganesh. I'm back with a new topic about the chef. The chef want to trade their apron with a business suit. What does it mean? It's about a journey of a chef. Chef don't want to stay in kitchen entire life. They also have ambition. They want a freedom to be creative. They want to avoid this daily grind of the kitchen. They want to lead a team, not only kitchen team, but team from other stream also. They have a financial ambition, which means opening a restaurant means more profit, creating a legacy. That's what they want. Now, Phuket is in high season. Everywhere is a festive. And you see a lot of restaurants are coming up. A lot of people are investing. Many investors, many chefs becoming investors, they became entrepreneurs. And chefs understand this business, how to be creative in the kitchen, how to present the food. But there's the other part. Like in hotels, we have a cost controller, we have a financial controller, and they support them in the financial side. But the moment chef want to be entrepreneur, he want to open his own business, F&B business, then he need to know how this works. I'm going to explain this entire concept of financial side of a restaurant in 3 episodes. Each time I'll take one topic. Today is cost ratio, next one will be revenue KPIs, and then fixed cost management. Once the chef or an investor understand these 3 parts, they can make a restaurant successful. I have written a book. This is my 3rd book, Chef Guide to Mastering Cost Control. This book contains 18 chapters. And I try to explain how the cost controller helps the kitchen, the chefs, F&B managers to optimize the profitability. Today we're going to talk about chapter number 16, which is on cost ratios. Cost ratios are the metrics, the percentage, which help the management to understand how the cost structure is working, how the profitability is getting optimized. In simple words, if the cost ratio is 100%, which means the cost and the benefit is same. I have invested 100, I'm getting 100. The cost ratio will be 100%. But if I invested 50 and I get 100 benefit, then cost ratio is 50%. So cost ratio shows how much the benefit is coming. We also call it cost benefit ratio, CBR. The moment cost ratio percentage goes down, the benefit goes up. There are 5 basic cost ratio. One is the food cost, beverage cost, wastage ratio, inventory days, and CPC, cost per cover. An investor analyze these 5 cost ratio regularly, it will ensure the profitability is optimized. So basically, it is used for the profitability, for decision making, and for productivity. We can measure the profitability, we can make decisions based on how the percentage in each cost ratio is changing, and third is the productivity. We can ascertain how productive is our production processes. I can explain you the food cost ratio. Suppose the food cost is 30% and you are planning to have a revenue of 200,000. This means 200,000 times 30%, 60,000 worth of goods you have to purchase in the market. That much worth of ingredients you need. So you can start planning for it. Because the cost ratio will tell you how much percentage or how much worth of goods you need. I'm taking a small example of 200,000, but when we do budgets for our hotels, we got a food revenue budget for 120 million, 130 million, and then we, based on this cost ratio or the food cost percentage, we ascertain, oh, this much volume of goods, which is like 30-40 million worth of food we have to purchase, and then we start planning for it. The concept is similar even for a smaller restaurant where the revenue can be 200,000, 300,000 or a million. If you are operating at a food cost percentage of 30%, you know how much you need to purchase. So the cost ratio will give you the indication, and then it comes the planning part. So this is the strategic point for the chef. He has to think about the storage space, the payments, and the wastage portion. Now, purchasing goods worth of 60,000, some are in cold condition, some are in dry, some are frozen state. Do we have enough storage space? If they're going for an event, let's say they're going to have a revenue of 1 million and 30% cost, 300,000 worth of goods are coming for a day. Where are they going to store it? That's one of the points which chef has to think. Second point is payments. Do we have to pay cash, or is it credit, or the supplier want advance? So how do I arrange that cash? And third, which is very important, the wastage. Because all goods are perishable, so a few of them are reusable or they can be kept for a longer period. So these three important points, storage space, payments, and the wastage, the chef or an investor has to think. Now, in a hotel setup, there is a finance department, there is a financial controller, there is a F&B controller, there is a storage manager. They all think about it, worth of ingredients they have to purchase, or how much beverage they have to purchase, or how much food they have to purchase, where they're going to store it. The frozen, we have a limited space for the frozen, how much we can keep, how long we can purchase. Should we go for a bigger purchase to reduce the price in a restaurant if they don't have enough space for the frozen goods, for the colds? How they're going to manage it? Supplier going to ask cash, or they okay with the credit? All these points need to be taken care of. So when we have a cost ratio, let's say 30% food cost, and I'm looking for a revenue of 200,000, I know 60,000 worth of ingredients are coming. How I'm going to keep it? How I'm going to store it? How I'm going to pay it? So these part has to be simultaneously taken care, which is triggered by the cost ratio. That's why cost ratio is important. Now, basic formula of the food cost is what? You have opening stock, you purchase, and then you have closing stock. So when you add opening stock with the purchase and you deduct the closing stock at the month end, the value is how much ingredients you have used in the month. And when you divide with the revenue, it becomes a food cost percentage. That's how we do the food cost. We have taken two situations, and in both situations, the closing stock and the food revenue is different. In first situation, the closing stock is 8,000, in second it is 7,000. So it means we have used more goods. And food revenue in first situation is 18,000 and the second one is 22,000. So then we calculate the food cost, which is opening stock 9,000 and we add the purchase 4,500 and we deduct the closing stock, which is 8,000. So 5,500 worth of goods or ingredients we have used in situation 1. And when we divide with the revenue 18,000, we got the food cost percentage, which is a cost ratio 30.5. Similar we do it for the next situation. We have opening stock, same opening stock 9,000, we purchase same amount 4,500 and we deduct the closing stock of 7,000. So we get a food cost of 6,500. Again, we divide by the revenue 22,000 and we got a food cost of 29.5%. Now, see, in the same situation, although the revenue increased, situation 1 to situation 2 from 18,000 to 22,000, but my food cost percentage gone down. Now this signifies we have managed the kitchen operation much better because my cost ratio going down. The moment my cost ratio goes down, it means the additional amount added to my profitability. From 30.5% I've come down to 29.5%, 1% I saved. That added to my percentage. So the moment I have the cost ratio of different situations, different months, I know which month I'm doing better. And then I can drill down and find out a little bit more. So this cost ratio indicates quite a bit about the operation. And if we keep reviewing every month, we start maintaining profitability at a higher point and optimizing the cost. Let's take example of another cost ratio, CPC, very important, which is cost per cover. We call it CPC in our industry. CP is the best way to measure the effectiveness of cost management. If you're managing your cost, if you're controlling your cost, CPC can indicate. This is the only way to find out the efforts is successful or not to manage the cost, or even which month what went wrong. CPC can indicate. So for clarity of CPC, I have taken an example. I have taken a situation of 4 months, month 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have taken only 3 expenses to explain in this example. The first one is a guest supply, and then the cost of guest supply for month 1 is 400, then 356, then month 3 is 248, and month 4 is 435. Similarly, I have taken the expenses for printing charges and cleaning supply. So these are 3 main expenses in the restaurant. If I add all these expenses, month 1 expense was 966, month 2 is increased to 1250, month 3 is 764, come down, and month 4 again double, 1529. Now CPC work based on the covers. So what is a cover? Each paying guest in a restaurant in our industry called cover. 4 person come, 3 are eating, 3 order food, 4 didn't order, he just sit with them and talk. I will take 3 covers, not 4 covers. This is very important because this data can only tell you how good you are in revenue and how good you are in cost and also in the profit. And even if you want to compare 2 different restaurants, 2 different units, same location, different country, only covers can give you the accurate numbers. So for covers, we generally have in our hotels, we have a policies, we have a strict policy how to record the covers. The free meal we don't take as a cover. Only the paying guest is a cover. Recording wrong cover can mess up the data, and then you cannot forecast correctly because the data get messed up. So cover is very important. We have taken the cover in our chart. So cover for first month is 340, second month is 520, month 3 is 180, and month 4 is 740. So what we do, we divide the total cost with the cover. Month 1, when we divide 966 with 340, the CPC 2.84. Next month is 2.4, is gone down. Month 3 is 4.28, almost double, and month 4 is 2.07. So if I review these 4 numbers, I know my CPC or my cost per cover should be around 2.5. If I review my CPC for many months, I can see my CPC should be close to the 2. So now this can be used to review the operation. First month 2.84, second month gone down 2.4, which means second month we are able to manage the cost better. Each cover, each paying cover, I am putting a cost of 2.4. But in month 1, I am putting cost of 2.8. But month 3, our cost increased per cover 4, almost double. So something is wrong in month 3. The covers are less, cost still increased. And month 4 again it come down to 2.07. So when we see the CPC, we know what happened, which month, what went wrong. And then we start drilling down. So how we drill down? We know in 4 months my cost keep increasing. It was 2, then increased to 4 and come back to 2. So there was something not correct in month 3. We take first line, guest supply, and we start reviewing the guest supply each month. So first we calculate CPC for all total cost, and then we start calculating for each line item to know which month, which expense not correct. So when we do it like in my chart, first month the CPC for the guest supply was 1.18. But second month it come down to 0.68. So which month, second month we able to manage. But month 3, 1.38, we're not able to manage. And month 4 again come down to 0.59. So this kind of analysis shows which month our supplies or our expenses not in control. And then the chefs or the manager know which month what went wrong, and then he go to that month, supplies, check the record and see what happened. Have we ordered extra, or it wasted, or we have some leakage problem, or what happened? So CPC going to indicate which month, what expense, what went wrong, and then you pinpoint that month, that expense, and work on it, analyze it, review it, drill down further to find out. Once you start doing it for those months where your CPC increased a bit high compared to the previous month, or from the trend, you can start optimizing the cost. It's a little tedious process. Generally, the financial controllers do it. But if a chef is opening his own restaurant, he has to identify few costs which can impact his profitability and start using this concept of CPC and controlling it. Like when I go to a restaurant, I see 20 people are sitting or 50 people are sitting. When I saw them, I can calculate how much profit I'm going to make today. Because one of our restaurants, CPC is 50 baht. 50, 55, 50, it's always like that. The average spend of the guest is 300 to 400. And then we know their payroll cost per cover and all. So we know that data. So I know how much profit I make when there's one paying guest is sitting. So if the restaurant manager told me that 20 people are sitting, I immediately know this much money I'm going to make that day. That's what chefs need to learn if they want to open their own business. They need to know their CPC, they need to know their average spend, the payroll cost percentage, which I'm going to tell you in the episode 2nd and episode 3rd. Today, we only talk about the cost ratio. It's a little complicated, but it's not very complicated. The moment you have a data of 1 or 2 months, you start comparing and you know what is going in your benefit, what is going in the company benefit, what is going out of hand a little bit, where you need to focus. The cost ratio will give you the direction, the spikes will tell you where you should focus and where you should control. Because this CPC is used for budgeting purpose, forecasting, cost management, controlling cost, decision making, like guest supply. We're just talking about guest supply. If we know my guest supply is $2, it's increasing to $4, is having some spikes. Should I change the supplier? Should I change my quality, or should I change the product? What should I do to manage it within 2 or less than 2? We did it in one of our hotel. We changed the key cards. Now you will say key card is such a small thing, but when we do the P&L review, we check. So in hotels, in the room department, we divide with the room. We call it CPOR, not CPC. It's a different concept. I'll tell you one day. So we know the CPOR and we're checking few months and we saw it coming very high. It's coming 3.5 baht and we say, why it's so high? So we start looking for more supplier and a different design and then try to bring it down. So 3.5 baht per room is very high for us. When it comes down to 2, I save 1.5 times number of rooms sold. If I sold 50,000 rooms in that year, I save 75,000 only by changing that small part. Same is for the CPC. Even controlling small item, using the technique of CPC or BCR, benefit cost ratio, you can manage your restaurant in a very profitable state. So this is the first step. Take it as an appetizer. We have many more steps. Once we cover the cost ratio, then we go on the revenue KPIs, we go on the fixed cost management, and then overall profitability. This is just an appetizer. The main course is waiting. We're going to serve you very soon with a lot of information. How to manage the restaurant when chefs trade their apron with a business suit. See you soon.